Hello student, myself KM Jha, lecturer VPMP Polytechnic. I am again here with my new module that is from the language programming in C++. Unit name is function in C++ and working with objects. The topic that we are going to cover here is classes and objects, static member, friend function and many more. Now we will see the objective. After learning this topic, or after completing the module, the student shall be able to understand how to develop simple programs using class and objects, array of objects, how to use friend function, passing and returning objects. This is all about the introduction of the module. What is C++, what is object, what is attributes, what is methods, variable, function. So first of all, I just want to remind you again one thing, that is C++ is nothing which is truly object-oriented programming language. So everything in C++ it is associated with classes as well as objects. For example, whenever in a real life we are trying to consider any example, and suppose we will take one example like car. Car is nothing but it is an object, and the attributes like attributes, that is variables such as weight and color, and methods, that is functions such as drive and brake. So similarly the same sentences is associated here. Attributes and methods are nothing but whenever we are talking about attributes, it means we are talking about the variables, and whenever we are talking about methods, we are talking about functions in C++ language. It is a user defined data type. Whenever we are talking about class, it is nothing but it is a data type but created by user. So this is overview of C structure. Why we are talking about C structure? Because class follows the concept of C structure, and this is the syntax of C structure. Here we are using struct keyword, and by using this struct keyword you have created this structure, that is person, and after that we will create the objects from this structure. Okay, now the same thing that we are trying to implement in C++, that is classes and objects. So classes are nothing but it is a collection of objects. Class, again I am telling you, it is similar like structure in C, but there are few differences that we will see in the coming module. But whenever we are saying class, it is nothing but it is a collection of objects. So we can create the variable of that type, that data type, that it means the class which is called as object. Okay. So this is the declaration of class, this is syntax of class. Here we have used the keyword class, and this is name of the class. These are modifiers, private and public, and here there is semicolon that we have used. Generally by default in C++, the access modifier is by default, if we are not declaring, it means it will consider it as a private declaration. Okay, and generally in the public section we are using the method generally, but it is not compulsory. But by default in C++ language, the access modifier, if you are not declaring that, it means it will take it as a private access modifier. Okay, and here the semicolon. These are access modifier. Whenever we are talking about private, so it can be accessed only from within the same class. We are talking about private access modifier. It means from the same class only you are able to access that. They cannot be accessed outside the class. Public, it can be accessed from outside the class also. There is no restriction. Now this is the example of class. You all are knowing this, that by using this keyword class you have created the class student. This is your variable, that is data member, and these are your member function, get data and put data. It is under the public access modifier, and here we have not declared the access modifier. It means it is under the category of private, because C++ by default takes the variable under the category of private access modifier, and here there is semicolon. It means the class is declared. Okay. Objects, you all are knowing that we are creating objects from the class. So this is the example of class as well as object. By using the class name student, you have created the objects S1, S2, S3 and so on. Now how to access the class member? So here there is, you can see the dot operator. By using object name, and if suppose you are interested to access the function name, then you need to add this dot operator to access any function. So by using object that you have created from the class, then dot operator and then function name, you are able to access the class members. Okay. So this here you can see the example. This is the object, that is S1 is the object from the class student that you have created here, and by using this dot operator you are accessing the member function that you have created here in the class. Okay, this is the example of that. Now how to allocate memory for objects. Here you can see here there is a class like book, and these are two data members, and this is the member function. This is complete class. Okay. And here we have created three objects, book 1, book 2, book 3 from the class book, and by using this dot operator you access the member function. Similarly, book 2 next function, book 3 get data, and book 1 put data. It means by using the different objects you can access the member function. So memory allocation for the objects of the class book. This is book 1, book 2 and book 3. Here this is how the memory is allocated to each object according to the variable, according to the data members. Okay, that you can see very well. Memory allocation for the object. This is first object, this is second object, and this is third object. So according to the variables the memory is allocated to each object of the class. Now how to define the member function. So if suppose you are interested to define the function name, that is member function, this is the syntax for that. This is return type, then name of the class. These four dots are nothing but scope resolution operator and then name of the function. Okay, so this is about how to define member function. There are two ways to define the member function: outside the class definition and inside the class definition. If suppose you are interested to access the member function outside the class, then you need to use the scope resolution operator, and this is the syntax for that. Here it is written outside the class. And suppose you are interested to access that inside the class, then this is declared inside the class. Here you can see this is return type member function, and there is here we have not used the scope resolution operator as it is inside the class. Class name is student, and this put data function is inside the class student. So this is example of declaration of member function inside the class, and this one was outside the class. Okay. Now this is about nesting of member function. It means function inside the function. So here there is function put data, and inside this function there is another function, that is total marks. So this is the function put data, and this one is another function. So we are going to define that outside this function, but it is inside the class only that I am talking. So it is example of member function which is defined inside the class also. But as right now we are talking about nesting of member function, so total mark is nested inside the put data function. Okay. Now private member function. Whenever we are talking about the private member function, it means it is only used inside the class. So here you can see this is access modifier, and this is the function swap which is declared inside the access modifier private. So this particular function is used inside the class only and not able to access outside the class. So this is the example of ascending order. You can sort, and then after you can display. We have already talked about this program in our earlier lecture. Now arrays within a class. Inside the array, inside the class you can declare the array also. So this is the example of that. This is the class, and we are going to declare the array inside the class. So this is the topic, array within a class. So we are going to declare array inside the class, and then example is there. Now about the static data member and static member function. So whenever we declare anything as a static, it means it is not going to change. The value is fixed. You will see here the example. You can see here there is, you can declare a member function as well as data member as a static. So whenever we are talking about the variable, here the count, and count, it is a variable which is declared as static, and this particular function show count, it is declared as static. So we are not going to change the value of this variable in the program, as well as this function cannot be changed. That's why it is written here, static member function are associated with a class and not with any object. So whenever you are going to access any static member function, as it is a static, it is associated with whole class, so all the objects are using the function, so it belongs to a class. So whenever there is a need to access static member function, you have to use class name instead of object. So this is scope resolution operator, this is name of the class. By using this, you are able to access the static member function. Okay, this is the example of that. Array of object, it is similar to the array. Passing object as an argument and returning object, this topic we have already learned in the array also. Now about the friend function. So friend function, to make an outside function friendly to a class by using keyword friend. So this is the new topic that we will talk. So by using the keyword friend, okay, you can access any function outside the class. So the function is defined elsewhere in the program like a normal C++ function. So friend function is nothing new, it is like a common general member function, but by using this particular keyword friend function, you are able to access the function friendly. It is user friendly and it can be used outside the class also. So characteristics of the friend function, it is not in the class to which it has been declared as friend. So whenever we are talking about friend function, it does not belong to the same class, it is from the outside class, and that's why we are trying to access that function to our class. Okay, by using the keyword friend, it is not in the scope of the class, it cannot be called using the object of that class. So from the same class and from the same object of that class, we are not able to access the friend function. So it can be invoked like a normal function without the help of the object. So it is like a general function. We are not going to use object of the class to access the friend function, as it is not part of the class, it was from outside the class. So it can be invoked, that is called from like any normal function. Okay, it has objects as arguments. So advantages for friend function is we can access other class members in our class if we use friend function. So advantages are that we can use other class members in our class. If suppose there is a class like class B, so from class B you can access the variable as well as function to class A by using the keyword friend. So we can access the members without inheriting the class. There is no need to inherit the class. By directly using the keyword friend, you are able to access the content from the other classes. So it is user friendly. There is no need to inherit the class. And what are the disadvantages? It breaks the concept of data hiding of OOP because it accesses the private data. As I said, C++ is completely based on OOP approach, and by using the friend function, it breaks the concept of data hiding. So somewhere it is a disadvantage of that. So going through the example, you can follow the example in Java T-Point. This is the link given here. You can follow the example also of friend function here. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving your time, and keep visiting the site for regular updates from C++. Thank you again.